Right, so talking of authenticity, are we buying it? It does sound delicious, but those with a greater knowledge of McDonald's than myself were quick to point out that his favourite breakfast wrap no longer actually exists and hasn't been on the menu for more than 2 years. So this is sort of what I was saying. So this doesn't smack of authenticity. And the minute you seem to be trying to be a man of the people or a woman of the people, you're not a man or a woman of the people. And politicians are such idiots because so many of them have been caught out so many times on exactly this, pretending. You know, if he had just said... yes, you know, when I take the girls from McDonald's, I think they have this, but it's been a long time. And then his office afterwards had to say, you know, he's been working hard as Chancellor, so he hasn't been for a couple of years. Well, why not make that clear?
It completely undermines the whole idea of him trying to be normal. It's rather like when politicians, you know, they struggle to say what they were last listening to on their, you know, music or, you know, what was the last concert they went to or the movie that they saw or anything else. Just tell us the truth. And I think this is the problem with Rishi, that he's tried to be this sort of man of the people because he knows there's this narrative about having God knows how many millions. And we all know that pretty much every politician, as soon as you walk through the doors of the House of Commons, you are going to be out of touch because you're seeing people in a certain way, you're given privileges, and the more senior you become, you're driven around security and all of that stuff. And you go to and get invited to all sorts of parties and all sorts of things. So you're going to be completely removed. But when it comes to things like the Donalds, you know, just be honest.
Call it the Donalds.
I call it the Donalds, you know.
The golden arches
as they
in our
say,
family.
the golden arches, as they say, you don't only find Big Macs at McDonald's. If I was going, it is a Big Mac. It's going authentic. It's Michelle with one L. The nutritionist would not be happy because they're delicious. But you know, you can't have these things too often. But just be honest. It's like, if you like it, I mean, we all have our favourites.
You just called it the Donalds. I'm not going to let this one go.
Yeah,
no, at all.
Oh, I love it.
The only time Rishi Sunak has been in the McDonald's, I would imagine, is when he tried to buy one. That's the only... The fact is that he's done exactly... He should go and work for the Finnish government, frankly. He's doing rather well over there. He's doing the cool thing, isn't he? It's a bit like, you know, Zach Goldsmith that time when he said he loved Bollywood movies and the reporters said to him, which one? And he had no idea what it was. It's the classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who do you like? What music do you like? Coldplay. Which album?
David
no
Cameron
idea.
with his alleged love of football.
David Cameron, he messed up West Ham and Aston Villa, do you remember that? Never go pop culture bound unless you're really sure.
Really into it.
So it's in the same category, Nicola, as what we were just discussing about the Finnish PM.
So I feel patronised whenever politicians claim to love a Greggs or a McDonald's. It's like, don't pretend you're one of us, Rishi. Just own the fact that you're a billionaire, and that's fine. There was another mistake that he made. I don't know if you saw on that photo earlier, but when he actually tapped to pay for his alleged McDonald's, you can see it on the screen there. His order number's already up on screen, which means he's already paid. So that's staged anyway.
Very good.
I know.
Marple,
exactly.
Agatha Christie over here.
I like it.
But also the fact that his team then said, to justify the fact that the rap hasn't been around for 2 years, oh, well, Rishi's barely seen his kids in the last 2.5 years since he became Chancellor. So he's a terrible dad on top of that.
Oh, lovely.
I mean,
the character assassination is actually magnificent.
This is like, Rishi Sunak doesn't go to McDonald's.
And
we just know that.
He should just own that. Just own it. And don't try... It's the try-hardness of it. It's like Daisy said, it's the inauthenticity of trying to be a man of the people. You're not a man of the people. Just own that. And I think people would like him more, appreciate him more for just being who he is. Because at the moment, he's not coming across as genuine. You're coming across as actually disingenuous. You're pretending to go to McDonald's. You've staged the picture. You don't know what's on the menu. You probably don't know the price of milk. You haven't seen your children in 2 years. It's not going well, is it?
I mean,
it's not going well.
There's not a lot left for
you know
him
what
to
I mean?
do. But he's kind of lost the whole...
The plot.
The plot and also the contest. I mean, it's looking as if it's so Liz, but then is she any more in touch? I mean, I think she's going to have to do the Donald's challenge next.
I think she is trying harder than he is to be the real her, and the real her is quite wooden and is quite quirky and is, you know, slightly awkward. And at least you're sort of getting... But also with Rishi in the past, you know, he's talked about his Peloton and his love of blueberries and his love of fasting. So none of that marries with this, you know, sudden love of Mackie D's. It's ridiculous.
People can sniff out inauthentic behaviour in politicians, in
arrogant.
Anybody, I think. If you go around claiming you're something you're not, we, the public, can sniff it out.
Liz Truss, you just know, nips into the old tea rooms for an iced fancy. You
She
know
does.
Yes,
That's her piccadilly.
A bit
That's
of
about it.
Battenberg cake.
Oh, no, don't be rude about the Battenberg cake, because that is the best cake in the whole... Very hard to make.
I'm not disagreeing.
Love a but I don't think Liz Truss is a Battenberg sort of person. No, because I think you have to be more effervescent and fun to like a Battenberg. I think she's more...
Maybe she's a cherry bakewell.
Yeah, I don't really like those.
Not a tart.
No.